20 minutos de conversa 100% em inglês. É isso que você vai vivenciar aqui para praticar o seu listening e para melhorar o seu inglês. E hoje eu trouxe o Tonelo, ele também é teacher, right? Bem-vindo!
Muito obrigado.
Tá feliz de estar aqui hoje?
Tô muito feliz de estar aqui hoje.
E hoje a gente vai conversar usando o vocabulário do inglês básico ali, assim, intermediário. Não vamos usar expressões muito avançadas para você conseguir acompanhar. Ativa a legenda aqui no vídeo, tá bom? Pega papel, pega caneta e bora para o Speak Like a Boss. Are you ready?
I am ready, yes.
Oh, that's cool. I met this guy today, actually.
Yeah, such a coincidence.
Yeah, so we are working together in this new project. I mean, I've been here for forever, but he's just a newbie in our team here at Fluency Academy. But today we get to know him, to get to know the person behind the teacher itself.
All right.
So how was your childhood?
I was born in São Paulo, in the capital. But when I was 4, my father moved to a small city. The name is Mojimirim.
Okay.
And I lived all my childhood in there, all my teenage years there too. Came back to São Paulo, then Mogi Guaçu. Now I am, living in a small city again. But I guess I was just a regular kid. I was not very good at school, which is crazy to think about. English is a subject that I never really liked much because I couldn't really grasp it, And actually, as a matter of fact, I never really took classes, formal classes.
Okay, so you taught yourself?
Yeah, I did.
That's cool, just like me.
Which is a bit crazy, right? So I wasn't the best student, but I was pretty much a regular kid, I guess.
And how was your relationship with your parents? Did they support you? I don't know if you were like the kind of kid that would every day like come out with some new idea. I want to do this, I want to do that. How was it for your parents and for you?
Man, I was that kid, but it was a bit complicated because my father is also self-taught in many different ways. Everything that he learned by himself.
Okay.
And he's a pretty intelligent guy, And so he always had that expectation, about his kids too. So every time that I asked him, to, start a course or whatever it was, it could be English, it could be, I always wanted to be a web designer when I was a kid, so I always wanted to be enrolled in a course. And he would always say, no, you have internet connection. You have access to everything you need, to learn. You don't really need to take any courses or whatever. No, he was wrong nowadays. I learned some things on my own. It would have been a lot easier if I had taken courses.
Okay.
But he never really enrolled me in anything. That was crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we had a very good relationship, It was really nice.
How about your mom?
She was more supportive in that matter. So she was always trying to convince him to, let us do our thing. But we still have a very good relationship nowadays too. We're pretty close.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And what was your dream job growing up?
The one from when I was a kid that is pretty much unattainable is being an astronaut.
Oh.
That was my dream. I guess that at some point in life, that's everybody's dream. I don't know. Or I don't know, I'm being crazy maybe, but I always dreamt about it.
Oh, that's cool.
But how about yourself then?
I guess I always want to be an artist. I've always been into music and acting and writing.
And you do it nowadays,
and
right?
I do it.
Man, it's amazing.
I do it. I went to filmmaking school, so I kind of became a filmmaker and an actor as well. I do musicals nowadays in São Paulo. But that was the dream, I've always been that kid that, okay, who wants to go on stage or who wants to present that in front of the whole school?
You would stand up.
Yeah, take me. I was that kid,
You think looking back now, that little Thiago would be proud of who you became?
I guess he would.
Yeah, that's awesome. I guess that's the best feeling.
That's amazing. So, you taught yourself?
I did, yeah.
Only English or other areas of your life you have the same?
Yeah, other things too. But substantially, it was English and social medias, pretty much editing videos. Actually, everything that, you know, is about social media, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, I never really took any courses or anything like that. It's pretty much the two things that I do with my life nowadays. You know, I teach English and I didactics too. Actually, yeah, I was trained to be a teacher just as well.
Okay.
But I had a lot of it in me, I guess. You know.
How old were you when you started studying English?
Man, that's a crazy story because I never really started. You know, I used to play a game. The name is Ragnarok. It's an online game. And I used to play in a Malayan server because I never really liked to play with Brazilian people. Brazilians were sort of a cancer online, you know, back in the day. And so I would always prefer to play with the foreigners. And so I had to talk to them in English because that was the language they spoke. And so it was the game and a translator, you know, on a computer open simultaneously, and I would be translating stuff all the time until eventually I realized I knew English, you know.
That's cool.
There's all that thing, that strategy of shadowing, right? I didn't know the name of it, and I didn't really know the concept, but I would watch a lot of series and movies and whatnot in English. And I would do that because I like repeating sounds.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so it sort of, you know, helped out. How did you learn English, by the way?
Actually, I studied when I was like 9 years old. I did everything wrong, you know. First, I tried to memorize as much words as I could.
By yourself, no teachers, no
by
school?
myself. I was trying to memorize like thousands of words. And then I realized that I wasn't really able to form sentences because everything was like random in my mind. And every time I need to speak, that was really hard for me to maintain a fluid conversation, you know, and get some rhythm and pace while I was trying to form my ideas. So it took me a while to realize that. And then I decided to learn sentences and phrases and, you know.
Still by yourself? You never took any courses or anything like that?
After, I mean, I was able to speak in an intermediate level when I enrolled myself in an English school. So I took that test to know which level I would be in, and then I started high advanced level. So I finished my school, and then I went to college. So I studied letters with English. I studied English. So yes, I had great teachers.
Plus, you lived in the U.S., right?
Yes. So, but here in this channel, people come here to learn English, and I want to ask you to give some tips on how to teach yourself if you don't have money to pay a course. How could you use maybe movie series or music as you use in your videos on Instagram?
All right, I guess that the most important thing is to go for stuff that you like and go for meaning rather than structures and whatnot. So you're watching a show, for example, and you can even leave the subtitles in Portuguese at first, but there's the sentence that you heard somebody say. Say it again, the very same way that you heard it, and try to understand the meaning behind it. Because little by little, you will collect sentences, and there will be a point where you have so many sentences already formed in your mind that you don't really know why they are the way that they are, why there is the preposition in here and there is a different preposition in this other sentence. But the logic will fall in place, you know, eventually you will know what's right and what's wrong even if you don't really know the grammar. So that's pretty much shadowing, right? You pick up stretches and sentences and whatnot and you try to replicate them. But get out of your comfort zone, pretty much. That's what I did in the beginning. With the translator, it was not the best tactic, let's put it this way, but it was a very good kickstart. I guess that this is the important thing, you know, starting. And then you will figure out what works for you best. But you got to start somehow. So find something that you like to do. Try it out. It's not working. You change it. But you got to start.
That's cool. My first video on this channel this year, it was exactly about that. Like strategies to teach yourself using like online content. And everything you said, it's part of some of the tips that I gave to my audience. This video is here. If you haven't watched, you can click and watch it after you finish our conversation here, of course. But I feel like nowadays it's so much easier to learn a second language, you know, back in the day, I didn't have internet, cell phones. I didn't even know was internet. So if I wanted to watch something, I had to go to the DVD store and try to rent a film.
That was a lot harder.
Find CDs to listen to audios, music. I could only listen when playing on the radio because I didn't have any like MP3 or something like that to play songs.
Yeah.
And nowadays you have everything you need. You just need to focus and be consistent. I was last week I posted this video that was like explaining people that we have like 24 hours a day, and if you use just 1% of this 24 hours would be something around 14 minutes. If you dedicate yourself for 14 minutes a day, it's like giving 1% of your day to study English.
But every day. Consistency is key.
Instead of studying like 2 hours a week.
So I have two questions for you. First is, do you speak any other language?
I speak baianês.
Entendeu,
And
pai?
fluent in that either. Eu falo baianês, pai. Quem vai é o Quer.
My goodness. But no Spanish, no French,
No.
Deutsch.
I don't.
So question number 2. If you were to learn, start right now. Pick up a language and try to learn it. How would you start?
I would. That's a nice question. I think I would start using some sort of texts with conversation. Text that I would have the audio and then transcript for it.
So full dialogues with...
Yes, and I would try to shadow it. I would try to learn sentences through those dialogues. I would try to memorize them, and then after understanding at least 80% of everything I listened without reading the subtitles, I would go to the next one. And I would keep doing this until I got really nice at speaking and listening.
Nice. It's a good tip.
How about you?
I guess I would, if I were to teach myself, I guess the first thing, of course, would be, trying to enroll in a course, so I would have guidance to do that. It's a lot better. It's a lot faster, of course. But if you're trying to teach yourself, I guess that I would pick up some sentences that make sense in my life, the context of my life. And I wouldn't use translator per se, I guess I would go with ChatGPT because it would be a lot more accurate, but I would go, give me, 5 sentences with this purpose. Say that in my context of life, I talk about rock and roll, on the internet, rock and roll and metal and stuff like that. So I would pick up 5 sentences about that, of stuff that I talk about on a daily basis. And I would practice those sentences, because I would be practicing structures, I would be practicing pronunciation, I would be practicing flow, stress, in something that has meaning to me, And sentences that I would very likely use eventually when I really did learn the language.
That's interesting. Smart.
Yeah, I guess I would. I don't know, but that's just something that came up.
That's cool. As you mentioned, you like rock and roll.
Yeah, I do.
And you look like a guy who likes rock and roll, right?
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm wearing this Rolling Stones sweatshirt right here.
Oh, that's so cool. Can you play the guitar?
I cannot.
Oh, you cannot? Can you play the drums?
No, I cannot either, man. I can't play any instruments. And I can't sing either. I did try.
Okay.
Right before the pandemic, I took up the guitar, meaning that I started taking some guitar lessons and singing lessons just as well, but then the pandemic hit. I don't know if I can say that word here.
Yes, you can. Now YouTube, they are allowing us to talk to some sensitive subjects without blocking us.
Okay, all right. So that time of our lives struck, and because of that, I had to cancel my classes.
Oh.
And then after that, I don't know, man, life changed, and my priorities changed just as well. So the time that I had available, I decided to use for other stuff, like making videos and, I don't know, focusing more on my content creator career, I guess.
No, that's cool. Okay, now I want to put you on the spotlight, and you gotta tell me which rock band, do you consider the best of all time?
That's an easy question. Aerosmith. Very best band ever. They have always been and they will always be. And I know that lots of people in here will disagree with me, but they are the best, no question about it. Aerosmith, I love Aerosmith. You like them?
I'm not really into rock music, so I don't listen to. But I know some songs, you know.
Yeah, Aerosmith is pretty famous, outside the bubble of rock and roll.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to miss a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
It's
very good
beautiful.
one.
Very
Everybody
emotional.
knows that song, and it's great.
Uh-huh. And in your opinion, what's the band that like name a rock band that you feel like people kind of worship them, but in your opinion they don't deserve it?
Yeah, and this band has pretty intense fans. So every time that I mention I don't like them, I get some heat. But that would be Megadeth for sure. It's a metal band.
Okay.
It's a band that started out with a former guitar player by Metallica. Metallica is one of the biggest bands nowadays, right? And he was kicked out, and he started his own band. The name is Megadeth. They're actually one of the biggest bands in. I saw the name is thrash metal, but it's just not for me, man.
Mm.
I don't like the guy's voice. I think his lyrics are very poor. The arrangements are rich, they're good, but the lyrics are just trash. I don't know, man. What kind of music do you like?
Oh man, I listen to. This is so different, but different
no
genres.
problems.
I listen to R&B.
R&B.
I love R&B.
I don't know a thing about R&B. I know the name of it, but I don't know how it sounds.
Rhythm and blues, it's like it has a touch of spirituals. I don't know if you know this genre of music, spirituals.
I'm not sure, man.
The texture of the song is like very melodic.
Mm-hmm.
We have those great singers with those
soul
singers. They make those riffs with like really high range, and rich.
I like that.
Rich textures of voice. The lyrics are, most of them are talking about love or about heartbreak. It's that kind of song that you listen, you can kind of vibe.
Nice.
But for example, nowadays we have Coco Jones. She's a massive star right now in the
name
genre.
is Coco Jones.
Coco Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna ask for some references.
And there is her. She recorded a song with Daniel. That song, Best Part. I don't know if you heard. You're the coffee that I need in the morning. Best Part. This is.
I like that
American
kind of
song.
singing.
Yeah.
I can do that. I can replicate it. So I'm not even gonna try. But I do like it. But I don't know that song. I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with R&B or anything like that. Only to clarify that, it's just that I am not.
It's not your taste, right?
No, it's not. It's not my taste. I like it. At least the way that you described it and this stretch that you're saying here. That's cool. I like this kind of music. It's just that, especially now that I work, talking about rock and roll and metal and whatnot, and there's so many bands and so many styles, in this genre, that I have to learn so many new songs and new bands and whatnot that it leaves me little space for different things. And sometimes I resent that, because I would like to get to know. So that's why I was going to ask you for some references. So there's this one, it's Coco Jones.
Coco Jones. There's her.
Her.
Yeah.
H-E-R.
Yeah.
Cool.
There also, back in the day, we had like Chris Brown would be. I mean,
Brown.
He sings R&B, but also he sings like some hip hop. He
Yeah,
kind
I
of
always
mix it.
connected him to hip hop.
Neo and Mario.
Cool.
Those singers that I grew up watching those DVDs with clips, those boys dancing, hip hop,
yeah.
those black guys, it's really part of black culture,
Cool.
R&B. So I really relate to that as being a black man and loving American culture would be part of, stuff that I like to listen to.
If I got it right, it kind of sounds like blues in a way. I love blues.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that I would like it. So just before we move on to the next topic, who is one artist not to listen? You're putting in the spotlight.
In
Let that
R&B,
get you. Yeah.
not to listen.
Not to listen when you don't like.
I mean,
not that you don't like. But
I don't listen Diddy songs.
Okay. Yeah.
he's like I mean he's more like hip hop, you know. He had some his life is very controversial,
Yeah.
and he's a bad influence.
Yeah.
But he recorded many R&B singers and bands, so
He's in jail now, isn't he?
he's in jail now, and I hope he rottens in jail.
Hopefully he will.
Yeah. My last question for you is, what does music make you feel?
Man, it makes me feel everything. I guess that it has the power to intensify what I'm already feeling. If I am in a mood of relaxation, I put on a song like, there's this one. I love this song. The name is I Am the Highway by Audioslave. I'm not sure you're familiar, because that's not one of the most famous rock songs, but it's an amazing song, man. It's so smooth. You might like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty smooth. And it gets me more relaxed when I listen to it, you know. It suits my soul, you know. But sometimes when I am down in the dumps, I put on some, my God, even, I don't know, man, more depressive songs, and they get me even more depressive. But it's good in a way, you know, because it works as a way to vent your feelings, you know.
Yeah.
If you're angry, you put on a very angry song, a very heavy song, and you can unleash all the anger you have inside. So I guess it has, music in general has the power of intensifying what you're already feeling.
Yeah.
So that's a very human thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just about happiness, not just about sadness, about anger, about relaxation. It's about everything.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I would say that music's a big part of my life, a big part of who I am, and I've always related to my life as a movie, you know, and I have the soundtracks of like specific moments of my life. I remember that the first time I went to, the first day I stepped in New York City,
God, what a dream. That's...
you know, that was amazing because that was singing, I took a taxi and it was playing English songs that some of them I used to listen in my house in Feira de Santana, and that, you know, brought so many beautiful memories, you know.
Then you look back.
2 months ago, I was in Orlando for a work. I work for an American company right now, and I took an Uber, and it was playing an Akon song, Mr. Lonely. Yeah, and then I started crying because that was the first song I ever used to teach English. My first
right in the fields.
English class that I taught with music, I used that song.
That's awesome, man.
And I was like 15 years old, and I would never imagine that my life would turn that around, you know. So that was beautiful. My wedding, my wife is a singer as well.
She is? That's awesome.
She was on The Voice Brazil in 2019. Yeah.
Man, you gotta show me a clip of that.
Yeah.
I gotta see it. Pretty
So
cool.
my parents, they sing. My parents, they met each other at a choir at church. So my sister sings, plays piano. My brother plays the guitar, bass, and
That's awesome.
acoustic guitar. So I grew up in a really musical family, and I love I'm listening to music
Well, you sing
all
too,
the
right?
time, and I like to sing as well. So I would say that it's a big part of my life. It makes me connect to my emotions, you know. It makes me dream and feel.
You're making me want to try and learn how to play something again. That's such a journey, though.
Yeah, it's a new year, so
Yeah, who knows?
who knows?
It could be a resolution for this year.
Go for it. And then come back here and make a live show for us.
Yeah, next time that I come in here, it's gonna be, you know, like a luau.
Yeah, playing R&B.
Yeah,
Just
R&B.
kidding. Just kidding.
Amazing.
Well, man, thank you so much for being here. I
Thank
really
you very
appreciate
much.
your time and this conversation we had. E se você gostou desse vídeo, se inscreve no canal. Se inscreve no canal do Tonelo também. E a gente tá sempre dando dica de inglês aqui, né? Através do nosso conteúdo. Se você quer estudar inglês também com a gente na Fluency, o link tá na descrição desse vídeo. É só clicar e conhecer os nossos produtos lá. Tem aula de conversação, tem aula de inglês com filme, com séries, com música. E é um curso muito completo para destravar você no inglês esse ano. Muito obrigado pela sua audiência e te vejo no próximo episódio aqui do Speak Like a Boss. Peace!
Peace!